the smell of magnolias in full bloom. And when we are apart, I will be wishing on starlight, wishing that I could give the stars to you. Who knows if tomorrow may bring us the chance for a brand new start. Till that moment, you'll be in my heart. Be wishing on starlight, wishing that I could give the stars to you. Who knows if tomorrow may bring us the chance for a brand new start. Till that moment, you'll be in my heart. Till forever, you'll be in my heart.
That you love to watch me bleed. But not half as much as I love when you leave. I hate to see you go. But I love to watch when you're walking away from me. Baby, tell me it's something real, and I'll give you everything. Every now and then we can smile. You know I can't help myself. They play around with me for a while, keep tearing me up until there's nothing left. Ooh, it's obvious to me. Yeah, you love to watch me bleed. But not half as much as I love when you leave. I hate to see you go. But I love to watch when you're walking away from me. Yeah, yeah.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Ay, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Ay, you know I'm a beast.
Can I run up the score, run up the board, breaking them all? Ay, ay, walking the door. You know what happened? We step on the floor. Ay, ay, coming from on. You don't want partners, you already know it. Ay, ay, come on, my to it. You already know I'm finna go do it. Ay, yeah, I'm locked in and I feel like Mark 10. Ay, walking to a room, chest up with my chin. Ay, already finished for this joint, even begin. Ay, when is what I am, I cannot ever pretend. Ay, yeah, never pretend. Ay, back in the lab again. Ay, you were not touching the friends. Ay, you were not touching the kin. Ay, putting the points on the board, I'm killing the boys, you know what it is. Ay, switching the moves, no number 2, I came in to win. Said I'm tapped in with the action, they got the master on a master. I can never move passive, I'm active, I can make them go ghost on this cast. But wanna know who running it, just ask us. On the track, I'm gunning it, I'm blasting. This that gas and diesel, Shack and dog.
You know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast.
Beast mode.
My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat.
Recoil, Coil Daddy in chat. Love Minis the Beast mod.
You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Ay, you know I'm a beast.
Hold up. Pay attention, this is beast mode. Got an edge on the game like a cheat code. Had to tighten up my focus like a peephole. I want the rings and the chains like I'm Depot. Picked up, walking, check my status. We established when it's show. Time to squat, making plays. Oh, it's magic like some we want the smoke. Y'all ain't really about that action.
Guilty O'Neal. Disco.
I've been hungry all my life. I ain't passing up.
JDA.
Can't quit until I win. I ain't having no debates. This is sacrifice and heart. That's exactly what it takes. So I'm going full throttle at me, back up out my way. Yeah, I promise you, you cannot stop me. Now when the whole team got me, I know this sound cocky, but watch me. I'ma show you what horror got me. Parameters. You are not dealing with amateurs. You and your team cannot handle us. This excellence. Rich, stand it up, cause you know
I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Ay, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Ay, you know I'm a beast.
Goat boy in the house. Hey, Goat boy, did I ever make your beer mug? Can't remember. Let me look at my list. Wait, did you not win a mug? Oh yeah, you did. You won a mug on the 15th. Or, I mean, not a mug, a koozie. I have to look at my order history to see if we ever settled on something. We'll look right now. Yeah, it got ordered. We're good. Yeah, I saw it. I just think I was like in a fugue state because I have like no memory of doing it, but I did it. Darth Jameson, did you get my message on Discord? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I ordered yours. You're zombie daddy, right? Or undead daddy? Yeah, I did yours. I think I'm caught up on koozies. All day, every day. Bring it to Adepticon, go boy. So people stop confusing you with Thomas Reedy.
Let's do it!
Yo, dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Paint. Hitting you up on the literal best of all days. Coming to you live from that Beats Lab in Citrus County, Florida. We're doing it again. It's my jam. It's Friday. Got another one of those bet monster cans that's threatening to razor blade my lips. Extremely Florida of this can of Monster Energy. Red code in the chat. Recoil, aka Quill Daddy, thank you for always sending me a box of monsters. Darth Jameson, Goat Boy, Renegade, the Master Street Fighter, Chun-Li. You watching Evo, Renegade? I've seen a lot of scrubs in the day one pods. Seen a lot of hobos. Oh, sucker MCs. I feel like just straight math, I think I can get out of the Heat 1. Why didn't Snake Eyes go to Evo? Like, I was wondering about that. I did see Angry Bird or whatever. I saw him slam dunk somebody. We'll have to ask Snake Eyes. I mean, if you compare Evo to like our hobby, it's not a given that you're going to go. It's not the most important event. It's an open. It's prestigious. And the pageantry is second to none. But it's not an invitational or anything. It's actually relatively easy for the top level guys to make it through the brackets. Yeah, and if he's already set up, like, he doesn't care. It's not that big of a deal for him. And what team is he on? I mean, he's highly sponsored too, right? Yeah, I watched a few. I watched it for about an hour and a half. It's not very exciting day one, though. It's not a lot of action. You training for Evo? You want to go to Evo next year, Renegade? Anyway, let's do some promos. So, we got a new project we're starting today. Starting at Kragnos, I don't know. So this is sponsored content. Shout out to High Ground Games over on YouTube. They sent me this paid up a couple months ago. Exclamation point Kragnos. Give those guys a like or follow or whatever the YouTube vernacular is. A subscription. I don't know. They said they wanted to get this. They thought about painting it because they do battle reports and stuff. They're like, bro, we're never gonna paint this. So they said it to me. So we're gonna begin that process today. Mr. The Monk, what's up, brother? So that's gonna be a big project. It's like Magnus, but no wings. Jax the Pirate, what's up, dog? And I don't think we're gonna do much. I don't think there's gonna be any NMM on it because I have I already kind of workshopped the color scheme for you guys. Let me get some love in the chat for Jax the Pirate, another old school legend. And today, of course, is a dice dump. Our big Friday promo. Jax the Pirate. Fridays in July. Final 4 rules. You get the super ultra rare Baron of Dice limited set. I only made 200 of these for July dice dumps. 10 per winner per win every Friday. Final 4. Recoil's mom in chat. Let me get some love. Let me get some strong mom love in chat. And of course, anybody just tuning in who doesn't know, big part of what I do, exclamation point class. Taught 2 first-time students this week. Actually, Madman came in. He won a class credit like a year ago, but then he moved. And then he came back to me. He's like, is my credit still good? And I was like, yeah, dude. And so we did his class credit today, or yesterday. And he signed up for the rest of the enrollment. Go, boys. This what's up with slow mode. Did it piss someone off? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Chat is broken? Who's getting a broken chat right now? It was in slow mode? What is slow mode? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Don't know what that even means. Is that a thing that a mod clicked? Do one of you mods slow mode everyone? I don't know what that means. Apparently chat was busted for some people. It's something that they refer to as slow mode. It said mods cleared chat and it was in slow mode. People can only chat every 30 seconds. And it went slow. Did one of my mods press a button by accident? And it went followers only chat on? That seems like a glitch. It's never happened. Love minis. Were you fucking with people? That is, we've never done that. We've never done a. Slow mode so fucking Rottweiler can keep up. Ah, sick bird, Teflar. Guess who isn't following? That's hilarious. Bidley Fits over on HoboTube says, "Not me. Chat is good." Yeah, you're. This is a Twitch thing. It's a good actually catch a live stream for once. Cheers from Canada. Thanks, Bidley Fits. Yeah, most of the stuff is happening on Twitch. Bidley. So you're probably just chilling on YouTube with like 3 people just chilling. It's always slow mode on YouTube. Looking at Love Minis, playing Prince, or it's just glitching out. I think it's a busy weekend right now for Twitch right now. So anyway, those are the promos, guys. We're going to start off with Kragnos, exclamation point Kragnos. Show High Ground Games some love on their YouTube channel if you don't mind. And dicedump today. So we're going to be starting a big project today. And I'm going to do my best to kind of take what I've learned from the last few sponsor content projects. And this is kind of what I've been doing all year is instead of relying on like a formal like sponsor to send me models that I paint for them and give away, it's more about like, can I give away more hype shit, more marketing stuff, you know what I mean, like more branded stuff, and can we get paid to do sponsor tutorials for people and also shout out their brands. So I've been trying to use a little bit more procedure in the generation of some of these workups that lead to better tutorials, obviously, which is part of the sell. Meticulous Chaos in chat. What's up, brother? Brian Porkchop in chat. Big Uncle, YouTube for life. What's up, man? So, Kragnos, if you guys aren't familiar with this model, I was not. I'd never seen this model before, and it's a fucking savage AOS model. Now, here's the box art for you guys. He's a beast. I really like this patina they're doing, where like you don't even see metal; it's just straight. So I think we're gonna do that on his gear. But we're gonna go straight next level. We're gonna show no metal. So he's a giant horseman. I mean, he's a beautiful horse. I mean, look at that. He's almost as jacked as Brooklyn Supreme. Renegade, very pagan, mythological. Yep. Big Uncle says it's about time you paint a real mini. He runs with giants and ogres, sometimes the green skins. He's straight ballin'. So you see, we left the shield's not on, none of the armor's on. Actually, the guys over at High Grounds Games built him and primed him to this moment and left the rest on sprue for me. So I think he's currently primed black-brown from Monument Hobbies. They primed him. I just cleaned him off, dusted him, because I think he's been sitting on their shelf for an epoch. And we're going to start up airbrush time. Now, I did want to show you guys, I did finally get my Game Envy measuring rulers. These things are neon as fuck. Look how sick this is. And they did something super classy I never thought about. Everyone always laser etches it on the same side. So you can, right? They etched it so you look through it. And I was like, dude, just that one, like, how classy is that? And so, of course, they're set up. You got to peel them off. You can actually just lay it down and spray paint it if you wanted to. If you wanted to spray paint this shit a color, you could. But I've got like 100 of these guys. Straight up Game Envy. So I'm going to start putting these in gift bags and do a mass mail on Monday. So everyone who has gift bags coming their way, regardless of tier 1 all the way to tier 6, doesn't matter. You're going to get one of these. Templar, the proper term is Centaur. For Horseman, easy peasy, you're forced to rest. That's wild. Hope you're okay. Okay, so I've got a color workup. I already posted it on Instagram for you guys for reference. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint. Everything is going to get painted mahogany. Start with. The horse part is going to go with actually our NMM workup. kind of like a similar workup where we're going to hit it with the golden browns and the warm fleshes. Keep it in this brown spectrum, but kind of cheating it toward this yellow. With mahogany present. And then, since everything's mahogany, that's great. We're going to reset his torso. We're going to just go with, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do skin. All right? A lot of clever ways, but we're going to not do the clever things. We're going to just go with my hobbies. We're going to hit it with the, we're going to go over mahogany, hit it with the dark, the shadow, the tan, and we're going to use pale pink. This will be our, these 4 paints are going to be how we paint the flesh. Okay? So we're keeping it super repeatable, okay? And then these are going to be how we paint his mane and his tail and all that shit. We're gonna go with the burnt red right over the mahogany, hit it with the burnt orange, and finish off a little warm yellow. So I've already picked out. I'm committed. I don't second guess nothing. I just grabbed them. I'm like, this works. Let's go. So here's the airbrush. Here's mahogany. So what we're going to do is, it's already black-brown. Which is pretty solid choice. It's a dark primer, but it's also in the warm spectrum. They specifically told me, do anything you want except your synthwave nonsense. And I was like, you guys knew what I was going to do. They straight up were like, don't do that then. So we're going to just keep it. I'm going to try to blow some colors up, no doubt. But we're going to try to be a little natural with it. Let me move this. Let me get in the cradle. Pat Rico, I was like, you playing at a paint job. Are you feeling okay? Brian Porkchop, synthwave on the armor. I'm definitely gonna. Okay, so that's where you got me, right? Like I show you that it's all patina. I'm not gonna do patina, but I'm gonna do those colors. So I'm gonna do some like hardcore jade and teal on the armor. So all we're trying to do here, guys, is just big even coats, and we're trying to reset 99% of the real estate. I'm barely pulling the trigger back. I'm hitting a big cone. And I'm just going to do 99% coverage of mahogany over this guy. Now, the fact that, like I said, he is like a black-brown right now actually supports this for shadows and stuff. And like I said, mahogany, you don't need to really aim too much. Everything being mahogany is fine. And we're really going to use our airbrush as much as we can on this guy. And horses are like that, too. Like the horse body. Really want to get away with as much airbrushing as you can. You see, look at all these holes for armor. Big shield right there. So we're going to paint everything up with the armor off. Then we're going to lay the armor out, airbrush the shit out of the armor, and install it. Try to make this as painless of a process as possible. I was like, what's that right there? I see a little nick. Now, I didn't build this guy, so I can't guarantee quality control. There is a nick right here. I don't like this. I think it's a buildup of plastic glue. Got it. Too easy. And even for the, and he's a horseman, right? So he is all horse, but he's going to be blending from horse to man. So setting it all to mahogany first, then blurring the mahogany into like human flesh tones is going to be the answer here. And it's not a bad idea to also hit this big ass tail. Mahogany works for everything. You guys know brown is the best color. Mahogany has a lot of saturation for brown. Or like a dark brown. and it just kind of works for everything. This guy is going to be a really warm model with a lot of warmth to all of his colors. And then the coolness is going to come from the actual armor. Okay? As mentioned, I'm going to bring in like basically a teal jade workup on the armor, so a lot of coolness is going to enter the market there. So it's going to be warm on warm. A lot of our contrast is going to just come from dark stuff and bright stuff. It's not going to really come from colors just yet. And I do think I'm going to sneak blue into his horns and his hooves, like a black blue. So there would be another cooling factor. Just making sure we got good coverage. We're just raw dogging mahogany. Definitely want to get his mane right here too. His little tufts on his feet. We'll set that down. Let that cure for 1 second. Some stuff around. Tactical rock is stolen from the Lion King movies. Pride rock, baby. That's right, Renegade. Disco, look at all that flesh you get to paint. Living Tribunal airbrush paint dries faster than a paintbrush? Yeah, it should. It should be almost dry instantly. Okay. So, let's work. Let's work the horse body first. So we've got some mahogany in the pot still. Let's run in and grab a little golden brown. Let's throw some water. Let's throw some flow improver. Lower the opacity a little bit. Stir that up. Let those two mingle. And I'm prepared to go back and forth on this. So what I'm looking at here is really just not going to overthink the highlight game. Probably just going to start off by just hitting points of interest. Like you see, like his foot's bending right there. A little bit right here. Probably a little bit kind of right there. Maybe hit the ankle right here. Thing is, you see all these dots? He's going to have armor covering a lot of this. Okay? See all these holes? The booty. The Goku looks like he's made out of milk chocolate. Yup. Right, pork chop. Now I need to go work on Trio Marvel Protocol, Electro, Shocker, Vulture. So all the greens and yellows. Fairly annoying. This is golden brown mixed with a little bit of mahogany. Said you see that a lot of this muscle action is covered, which is actually pretty convenient for the horse body, or you get caught up in having to do a lot of fur. I'm just building it up. Alright, so, and I'm definitely going to go back darker. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to borrow from one of our other colors. I'm going to take some of the warm yellow, throw that in the pot. I want to get more yellow. I'm feeling that. I'm going to water it down a little bit. Feel like it can be a little bit more golden. See, I'm sending a bit of a golden filter over some of this stuff. Exclamation point. Kragnos. Recoil. Don't I have a command for that? Didn't I already make one? You see, sending that tasty yellow in, I like that a lot. And GW did a good job hiding a lot of the paint job under the armor and everything. I like that a lot. I'm gonna dump some of that out. I'm gonna take the warm flush and we're gonna use that to go brighter. A bit more water. Take the cap off, expose the needle. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more detail oriented now. I think I got a bit of a clog forming. Go. Kind of just following some of the tendons, muscle shape. There we go. Equals mom and chat. What up? Loving that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dump the pot. %, rinse and clean. So I'm going to go back to the beginning now. So now we're going to go back to mahogany. We're going to lower the opacity. A little flow improver. A little water. I'm going to throttle big time. Cap off. I'm going to use the mag valve. I want to reinstall some shadows. AK, and for the horse, it might not even be like shadows. It could just be like coloration. But I'm going to aim at kind of the recesses. And kind of stain it, you see? Where we're bringing that mahogany flavor back in. And when models are big like this is oftentimes my solution. It's because now you see we're getting the filter of the mahogany over these brighter browns, and a lot of that rich mahogany flavor is showing up. Blending the feet hair back in. Palomino is a golden horse. Is this a Palomino? Renegade? Nice. Apollonius, what's up, brother? We're just doing some paint jobs, homie. See, I'm just working the depressions and the recesses in the tendons and the muscles. You see how beautiful and tasty that brown looks now? And we're also blending into his human skin. We're going to work the spine, work the butt shape, tail, and we're just reinstalling the shadow game with like, this mahogany is like more than 50% water. It's like 80% water. And we're getting that beautiful mahogany filter. Apollo, he's like, not just some paint jobs, beautiful paint jobs. Thanks, man. Jackson Pirate says MFM. What's that mean? Brian Porkchop says, so going to give Craigie socks to keep the pattern consistent. Ooh, should I give him some little horse socks? What I'm trying to do is blend the fur back into the mahogany at the bottom. Because I'm going to end up making those like orange almost. So yeah, socks, I guess. A lot of this is covered by armor, but it ain't nothing. It's no skin off my teeth to pretend it's not. Just kind of hit it all with the airbrush. That's why I own the airbrush. So I can generate like superior product. And you see how low opacity that mahogany is? That I can keep kind of stacking it. And just keep getting that filter that I crave. Just working the muscle definition. You know, it'd be sick. I think black. Brian Porkchop. I think if we take a little black, like some transparent black. Actually, I'm getting this. I'm getting the spider senses are tingling on this. What the fuck is my goddamn transparent black? Literally, I knew it. I knew it wasn't up there. So imagine we black up this mahogany. And I'm just going to burn out the socks a little bit. Brian Porkchop. That's my goal. Right? So what I want is like this blackening to start showing up right there. Because this isn't about shadows. This is about changing the pattern, right? So I want his brown fur to start getting extremely dark as it starts meeting his tufts. His socks. See? And then I'm gonna cheat back the sock color so it's gonna explode into the orange spectrum. See that? It starts to look a little bit more horse, right? It's more horse-like. Yeah, I'll take it. That's fine. Move them out of the way. So now, the second part of this laydown strategy is doing the skin. So let's rinse this out. I'm going to use a little alcohol. I usually don't recommend that because it has a tendency to dry out the paint. I'm trying to dump the black out of there fast. It's kind of a fast, dirty approach. I don't want to desaturate my skin by accident. Okay, so we started with mahogany on the skin. Now it's dead to us, right? Everything was mahogany. Now we're gonna flip it to dark flesh. I've never used this color for any purpose in the Monument Hobbies lineup. So we're gonna go with like a flesh workup. We're not doing any artistic shit. We're just saying we're gonna use the flesh that they sell and we're gonna make it look good. So I'm gonna try to use them all. Basically, I'm like, well, they all exist for a reason. Let's see what's up. So straight up dark flesh. Pop the tip off. Make sure we're looking good and clean. Always keep the tip clean. So now this is gonna this should blend pretty well into the mahogany, and my goal is to again do like a repaint, but I don't need to get full coverage here, and some of this skin can bleed into the horse part, so the man part can bleed into the horse part. I chose these colors deliberately for this reason. That there's a common link. The mahogany links everything together, and I don't necessarily need to get full coverage here. And he's got a shield again that I don't have installed on the model. See, and we can kind of blur the dark flesh into horse flesh. See? I'm just stacking the opacity with a few passes. Getting clever with my angles. I do want to erase most of the mahogany. But the mahogany will support me if I don't. That's what's good about it. And it was black-brown to begin with, so that also supports like any lack of coverage. So we want to make sure that his skin, there's going to be a lack of contrast innately with this color palette right now until we get further into the paint job. So we just want to make sure we're doing our best to divide them. Big Uncle says it's like Britney Spears' song about a girl, not yet a woman. Templar, you're gonna freehand brand him, right? You're gonna freehand brand him? Who would brand this beast? Big Uncle, not a man yet, a horse. He's a horseman. Okay, now I'm gonna get kind of gangster. So let's drain the pot. We're gonna leave literally just dirty paint water in there. That's it. And now we're gonna move up to shadow flesh. So we're gonna establish respect with dirty paint water. Blend those together. Flow improver. Water. A throttle with the mag valve here. Let me actually make sure we're not. Goat Boy says he's a god. So I don't think anyone branded him. He's a god. He's like a god that they all worship, like all the destruction people. Okay, let's see about this Templar. Want to see if I can get clever here. And for the most part, this can be mostly a repaint as well. Because his skin isn't gonna be brown. Because the horse is brown. That's just not a good combination. The lack of contrast. But we're using the dark flesh, shadow flesh, to build a really nice complex set of shadows as we go brighter. Eric, thank you for the follow. Get his little face. This shadow flesh, what is that? Some Big ass fucking hair right there, guys. Good. We'll get a little bit more directed, kind of tops of things situation. Those obliques. Like I said, it's mostly a repaint, but we're leaving some the dark flesh intact, and we're getting a lot of great filtering interaction between these two colors, shadow flesh and dark flesh. I plan on going taking the highlights a little bit more pale than that. So let's take a second to drain the pot and reset. Let's get a 90% rinse. Blasting some of the water out. You see, there's plenty of flesh still stuck in there. I'm just priming the pump, backing the needle out. There we go. That's good enough. Now I want to take the shadow flesh we just did, but with no dark flesh in. So there's a lot of water in that mix, very low opacity. I throttle it like crazy. So it's a real soft glaze. So this is shadow flesh, no dark flesh in the mix, super low opacity. We're just filtering the kind of the peaks of things and just bringing a little bit more kind of traditional flesh tone into the mix. And he's gonna have a lot of armor on him too. You see all the little armor holes. I'm gonna airbrush the shit out of all that stuff. And we're gonna definitely do a lot of brushwork on his skin too. We're definitely gonna get in there and define some of these muscle bellies. But the more I can get out of my airbrush, the easier all that's going to be. Reaper, I found Dark Forest. Just swallowed any other tones I tried to put on it. What? I don't know what that means, man. Alright, so I'm gonna drain the pot a little bit. There's a little bit of shadow flesh in there. Now let's move into the tan flesh. Okay? I'm gonna combine those. Little flow improver. Means you need to stop using swipe on my phone for messages. Means you need to stop using swipe on my phone for messages. Okay, let's throttle it a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to start trying to really be careful now. Get the hand. Face. Big ass neck. Just aiming at the muscle bellies. And so now we've got a pretty fucking solid tan flesh situation going on here. And I want to see if I can get a controlled blast. I want to go a step further. A little bit of dirty paint water with that mix, and I want to actually use pale pink. Because I'm going to reinsert like my dark lines, I'm gonna reinstall some of the darkness into the muscle definition, but I'd like to get a little bit more pale on some of the peaks of his muscles in the airbrush stage, because that saves time later. If I only have to install dark stuff, it's so much easier. All right. Actually, let me just do my diligence. Let's make sure that we're not clogged or anything. Good. So now I'm using the mag valve right now. I'm gonna try to get real tight on it. All right. So I'm gonna try to I'll be a lot more delicate. Wolf Sark, we're doing it, brother. Exclamation point, Kragnos. So that was pale pink. So our flesh workup is locked into these 4 paints. Okay? And we took it up to pale pink on the transition game. And just like on the horse body, we can reinsert a little bit of a filter. So let's move him out of the splash zone. Let's do the exact same thing we did before. Wolfsark, yeah, we're doing it, brother. Slow him to face. What's up, man? So you loving this airbrush versus Awada? Yeah, man, this is my favorite. This is my go-to airbrush right now. For the price, and its quality level, it's so good. I'm not saying it's like a superior technology to the Awada Eclipse or anything, but for the price, it's like, get out of here. This is my number 1 tool. Just getting all this out of here. Again, I usually don't do this, but I'm gonna pour a little iso alcohol up on that business. And in a pinch, this will work for just gonna drain some through the pot. Wolfsark, you painting some blue whores and blue scribes right now? Hell yeah. Durafast says, is this the start of Warhammer version of the native body spray ad? Yes. Okay. So let's go back to where we began this whole skin business. Let's go back to the dark flesh. A little bit in there. A flow improver on top of that. Water on top of that. So we're going to go on super low opacity. Take this cap off. Just throttle the airbrush a little bit. Okay, so there's more liquid in the pot that is not paint than is paint at this moment. Okay, super low opacity. So the way you mitigate the moisture is by pulling the trigger back less. So I want to reinstall some shade. See that? We're getting some bronzing back in there. And we're using the filter. So you see, the dark flesh looks differently when applied over the bright stuff than when the bright stuff is applied over the dark stuff. You see, you get to use the filter mechanic. So you really get to appreciate the nuance in that dark flesh now. See that? And when a model is huge like this, you can get a lot out of your airbrush because we're able to go back and forth. When you're painting smaller minis, you can usually only go dark to bright. When you're painting Kragnos, the fucking horseman, you can go up, down, down, up, left, and right. Oh, it was half screen. And you see, look at that definition we reinstalled and the bronzing to the skin. And we're not doing any artistic nonsense here. We're using a color workup from a paint manufacturer. We're not saying, hey, we're going to start with like purple. We're going to throw greens in the flesh tone. We're going to do all this artistic stuff. We're not doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do it all the time. It's more that I want to have a stable recipe that works. So that way, when I get into the paintbrush game, I know exactly what I need to do to darken or lighten any line I see. See, I'm even getting inside those tendons, you see? I went a little too deep right there. Was off target. Fuck. It's another fucking hair. Where are these hair? Dude, I dusted this guy off, bro. Where were these fucking hair? Did you prime a hair into this model, guys? High Ground Games. Which one of those fuckers owns a cat? So I have to go back to that bicep in a minute. Fucked it up. Gotta keep the tip clean. See that? See, we're just taking our time and rebuilding that jactification. Lost my line right there. That's because the airbrush is getting a little clogged right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drain the pot a little bit. And we're gonna add the shadow flesh back in. I'm gonna go repair, I'm gonna try to repair some stuff. And I'm gonna go to the tan flesh as well. So I'm gonna do a couple little pieces of repair. But I'm willing to spend like as much time as I need to on the skin with my airbrush because it's so easy. And even if you make a mistake and you gotta go back a step, it's not a big deal. It's still saving us tons of time in the brush kit. Okay, so I've created like kind of a mid-tone filter to do a little repair work, like on this bicep right here. See, I'm smoothing out that misshape and highlight. See? Right there. I move back into the mid-tone right here, kind of. Yep, got a little clogged. I knew this was going to happen from using the alcohol. Added a little bit more water. And I'm just knocking down some of these highlights we deployed with a little bit more mid-tone application. I'm gonna do like inversion on the face. Right there. here on this big jack neck muscle. Let's put the mid-tone back in right there. A little bit on that delt. Hand could get knocked down a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna dump the pot. I'm gonna move Craggy out of the splash zone. Let's do a quick reset. I'm gonna put a little simple green in here. And you see Wolfsark, you see some of those lines that I lost control of because of the spurting. Because I was so low opacity, once they dried, they weren't so bad, easy to work with. So I'm just going to run a little water with a little bit of simple green through the pot real quick. The airbrush cannot be reasoned with. It's only a response. It only responds to force. Just running a little bit through it. I'm just looking at the needle and seeing if there's any paint stuck to it, which there is. Because I want to go back in, just do a little bit more highlighting. So what I want to do is I'm kind of eyeballing it. I want to move back into kind of the tan flesh real estate. Little water. Little flow improver. And you see, by knowing what 4 paints I'm using, it's easy. It's kind of easy to do this, right? I gotta eyeball what needs to happen. So, plenty of moisture. I'm gonna throttle with my mag valve here. Really lowered the pressure. So I want to hit these abs right here. See? I'm kind of aiming at the fur. Right there. Rebuild those abs. Might need to give it more PSI than that. Wolfsark, you need a different black primer. It keeps getting stuck in your airbrush. A little bit more tan flesh. So I reinstalled a couple of highlight points, you see, that I kind of wiped out. So ultimately, our best highlight essentially was the tan flesh. And then we installed a little bit of the pink, and it kind of mostly filtered back over the pink, the pale pink. But That's pretty good. We can take a little airbrush break. Let this guy cure up. But that, you know, look at the raw efficiency of this style of painting on a model like this. Model student tuning in. What's up, brother? Well, sorry, it keeps getting stuck in the nozzle. What airbrush you using? So I'm gonna put him near the fan, and we're gonna do a little whip session. I'm gonna take the Eclipse, and you said you're using the Vallejo primer, surface primer. Probably don't use that then. It's just I stopped using that years ago. Rather use spray paint. Exclamation point Kragnos. This is our current sponsored project. High Ground Games over on YouTube. They wanted me to paint this up for their battle reports. So we wouldn't be painting a Kragnos without them creating this video. Yeah, the Vallejo Surface Primer, probably just switch over to Monument. Whoops, sorry. Trying to just, because I'm going to come back to the airbrush at some point today. I'm going to drag a little simple green from my pot into here. Set that down. Cut the compressor. Ugh. Move this over here. This. So, just tuning in. What we did was use mahogany, combination of golden brown, warm flesh, a little of this warm yellow on the horse body, and then we moved from the mahogany to the dark flesh, to the shadow flesh, tan flesh, pale pink on the torso. So we're keeping this as proceduralized as possible. Shout out to Hero Quest fans, what's up? So this workup will cover a lot for you guys. And so those paints I just showed you, this is just, you know, us raw dogging some airbrushing. And my man's got tons of armor that's been left off, big shield. Here's the box art, you can see. He's got all sorts of armor. So we still got tons of stuff to do here. They did his skin very like, it's still horse skin, you know, like kind of like how he is down here. But I think we're gonna exaggerate everything. That's just bad contrast. So we're gonna exaggerate everything. So we're gonna bring a lot more human skin to market. But we are gonna draw a lot of inspiration from the box art though. But we're just gonna exaggerate the shit out of stuff. Fubar Jr. says that's one mean looking cat. He's a horseman, okay? Not a cat man. Let's get some love in chat for Hero Quest fans. What's up, guys? So, just in time, gonna set up a little whip session, exclamation point whip. Today is a dice dump, one of our summer specials. The only way you can get these dice is to be in the final four by the end of today. Exclamation point dice dump. And give me a second. I'm gonna go hit the B room, be right back. And then we'll be doing our whips. Back. Pop open the old Discord. So working on Kragnos today. What's today? We got some whips. All right. Easy peasy. What are you doing? Prepping for class? What do you mean? What are you doing? Talking about our painting, our glazing class? Don't do it. Don't do a workup for the glazing class. You're like airbrushing these like you're doing a workup. Don't do that. Just paint them dark purple or dark jade or dark blue. Like we're deliberately not using an airbrush. But also, this looks like you're painting it for a model in your army or some shit. Also, don't do that. Just grab like a random Space Marine captain with a fucking cape. Like, don't use the class to paint the thing in your army. You know what I mean? We'll talk about how to use your airbrush and glaze in the class. But for the lesson, we're just going to be raw dog doing classical glazing. But these look kind of big. Like, this is like a fucking Dread Knight or something. These look huge, man. Like this is like the size I'm talking about right here. This is like this is more what I'm thinking about. Look. Like this. This is a cape. It's third the size of my thumb. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. Not a dryer sheet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those are palace curtains. Because 100% we're gonna airbrush those. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna glaze stuff that oftentimes is unairbrushable. It's kind of like the idea here. But mostly, just like with the Lord of Change, I airbrushed it. Mostly just airbrushed it, and then I just did a little bit of pin washing and glazing. That's mostly what you can get away with, but I gotta teach you classic glazing. So before we combine the techniques, I teach you the technique. Let's see. Finally done with this shitty painting. This is like your old tech, right? Is what you're talking about here? The old tech that you were doing before we started doing lessons. Still, a fully painted force looks good, regardless of the technique you use to curate the finish. So it looks impressive. But now you got the new tech, which would make it look more impressive with less moving parts and less fucking headache. Solid work, brother. Exclamation point class. Easy peasy. Oh, Needless Guilt. I saw this in the Facebook chat earlier. I didn't comment on it. I was busy doing stuff. But your Nurgle converted rhinos. That's right. Lessons chat on Facebook. These are hella sick, dude. Bro, I love them. I love this like extra oversized headlamps that you did, and like this eye socket. Very cool, man. Is Needless Guilt still in chat? Elro, what's up, man? Says those are great sculpts. Yeah. Sick as fuck. Disco. Let's see. We got the disco chop. Very nice. Loving that green. More yellow in there than green? Yeah, but because you did what you do, which is filter it over black and white, it greens out. We've talked about that before with your Imperial Fist color scheme. Yellow has a tendency to go green when applied over values. So that's why yellow's, you know, part of the reason why it's a bitch. You added more yellow. It's one of the best colors to highlight green with. Yeah, maintain saturation discount. HeroQuest says, I use gloss spray paint for my Imperial Fist over a dark blue and also gray plastics. Created a green shadows in the corners, which I actually kind of like, so I kept it. That's what it'll do. Renegade Cadia stands. Does it though? Kind of feels like it's gone. Elro. This is a D&D workup. NPC for D&D. You started the same time I started. I love it. Like the cell shading is really awesome. That layering. Cadia lives on in the Cadians. I mean, sure, it's a physical location that no longer exists. But yeah, it lives on in their hearts. HeroQuest fan, actually, my spray painting mistakes created many happy accidents. There's some silver dust on my Ultramarines, gray on the Blood Angels. That's awesome, man. Red coat, nice. And it exists not only in their hearts and minds, but as rocks floating around in outer space. Don't start shit, won't be shit. Cadia, get fucked. Chase. Looks like a bunch of candy. What are these models again? What is all this nonsense? It's like a board game, right? It's like, just feels like a lot of fun is happening. It's like a board game. What is this, like Alien versus Predator? Risk. Settlers of Catan. It's a dungeon crawler. Bro, I know it's fucking Hero Quest, man. I feel like I can't troll these guys. Jack Close Painting. 85 months. Legend. Oh man, Wyatt Turk. Trolling some Hero Quest nerds, but they appear to be untrollable. So I had to like drop the bit. Good job, Jace. Keep up the good work, Hero Quest fans. Switch over to Coil Daddy. Oh, he's got a food whip. Let's see what we got here. Alright, eat that. Hell yeah. Pea and ham soup. My dad makes like one thing a year. He makes lentil soup from a ham bone. I feel like it's the same concept. Wyatt says, dude, when is our next Carl book? I don't know. But if you go to my... What's my... Is the command dead now? Do I have a lit RPG command? Did it break? There it is. If you go to that link, Wyatt, I've got my top other picks. And Primal Hunter just dropped their new one. So Primal Hunter will keep you occupied. If you started reading Defiance and you didn't like it, then you'd like probably Primal Hunter. The new He Who Fights Monsters drops this month, but Dungeon Crawler, that dude takes like sometimes like a year. He's not fast like the other guys. He Who Fights Monsters is dead to you now? Are you caught up on the last book? Last book's pretty fucking hype. Primal Hunter's really good though. I really enjoy that. I've read like 12 other series, like 1 or 2 books. I'm like, eh. So I haven't found anything that's truly good yet. Yeah, Noobtown is slow too. Yeah. Game. It's the nature of the game right now. There's a couple of books that are kind of good. But lack any good world building. Nothing that's made my list yet since those books. Renegade, you're hungry now? I can smell that soup. Exclamation point Kragnos. That's our current project. Shout out to High Ground Games for sending me this project for their YouTube channel. If you want to go give them a follow on YouTube, it'd be nice. Exclamation point class. If you're just tuning in, you want to get good at painting, hit me up. Take my classes, pay to win. Oh, we got another whip. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Another one from Recoil. That Mantic Tunneler, right? Love it. Such a fun model. Lock it in the bronzing and coppering stuff. I like that. It's a good palette. Red always looks so good too. Keeping it nice and clean. I like that. Then you can dirty it up later. Ballin'. Beautiful work. Any more whips, guys? Exclamation point dice dump. This is one of those Fridays. There's only so many Fridays in this month. As a matter of fact, there's literally one more Friday. So after today, only one more chance to pick up these collectible Bear Dice set. This is independent from the Global Dice giveaway that you guys are all waiting on from That's a Chess X fulfillment. So I'm still waiting on those in the mail. It's like 700 of those. Those are also like an annual thing we do, but this is a special summer promo. And Baron cut me a sick deal on this limited run. You can only get them here on Fridays in July. Exclamation point, guys don't. Close some tabs. Let's lock into the cradle. We'll see where we're at. I have to kind of figure out the procedure. Here's Kragnos up to this point. All airbrush so far. We have a very simple and clean color palette for Monument. There's not a lot of like jankery here that I normally do. It's all very simple workups based on pre-made colors and a paint line. So you don't have to like, get too in the weeds with nonsense. So just keeping it easy. Now, I'd like to get the fur, like his socks, his tufts on his boots, his mane. I'd like to get that all sorted. So I think the best move here, honestly, is that we got to do that thing where we base them and we gotta cut it in with a paintbrush first. Then we can pull the airbrush back out. That's honestly the best move here. Best practice. So let me move this airbrush. I want to put the airbrush back actually in the simple green for now. Because we don't want to get the fur is gonna be our real splash, our first splash of new color, and we don't want to get overspray while doing it. So the best practice here is to just take a big ass paintbrush, block in the first base color of the airbrush sequence, and then pull the airbrush back out and then hit the tops of things. Wyatt, you saw Matt hit with, Matt was telling me that today. He's like, yo, I just played with Kragnos. That's crazy. Stallion that mounts the world, baby. Water on my palette. A Game Envy wet palette. So for the, remember I told you mahogany was like kind of the key to everything. And so we got burnt red. We don't use that very often. This is gonna be most of our workup. Is trying to get this burnt red down. Okay. So what we want is like our big brush, like our big number 6. Right here. It's got a bunch of brush soap on it, so let me just rinse it off. My water cup is a little far away. Station right now. My airbrush took over my airbrush situation. I'm gonna get a glove on too, because Kragnos just says he has a fresh coat of airbrush on him. I don't want to mishandle him right now. Craggy Daddy over here. Jacknos. Stallion of Master World. So I'm gonna raw dog this burnt red. You'll see what I mean here. So just what I want to do is I want to paint the tufts with the burnt red right over the like residue of the brown that's there. And we're using it straight from the palette. And if you don't get full coverage or full opacity, that's fine, because the interaction between the browns and the red will be tasty, and it will kind of link it together. Brown works really well with red. And so burnt red. Now GW's box art, there's definitely a reddish brown here. And like I told you, we're drawing a lot of inspiration from the box art, but we're going to ramp all saturation up. And so I'm going to use the airbrush to blast in some sick blends over this burnt red, but the burnt red has to be there first. So that's why this is the step. And so I can definitely spray the burnt red over the fur, but I'm definitely going to get overspray where I don't want it. and I don't want red overspray because it's such a different color than everything else. It's gonna look exactly like what it is. It's gonna look like I fucking oversprayed with my airbrush. You know what I'm saying? Where the overspray on a skin, like on human side to horse side, there's overspray going between those two. That's fine because there's lore here. You know what I mean? My man he's a horseman, so the horse body is blending into the human body. So the overspray has a reason to exist. Yeah, definitely getting a little flamey here is my goal. Jace. Now this is where it gets a little tricky right here, because the strands of fur are moving into horse flesh. So if I turn this big brush kind of sideways, I can kind of ghetto dry brush them a little bit. See that? But the choice of the brown was deliberate. Like I said, I already know from experience how brown works with red. Thank you, Hero Quest. Thanks for the raid, brother. Like right here. I'm gonna kind of just heart pull a little bit in. And again, I don't need full coverage. The brown will support the burnt red. So I don't need to get all the way into the recesses. If it's still like that black brown, it'll ride. You see, as the burnt red dries out, see how it links really. What the fuck is this? Little nub right here. Little sprue. Nubbin. Yeah, it's much easier when they put the little ankle bracelet on. Because then I could just run it right to the bracelet. Go. Renegade says the red brings the angry nature of the model. Yeah, the red is, like I said, GW. I mean, it's not. I didn't come up with the GW. Definitely use a red or brown here. In their version, just everything's a little on the safe side. So these are a little bit trickier, right? So because these tendrils are moving into smooth skin. So I'm using the side of my brush to kind of ride those tendrils a little bit. Like a bit of a dry brush technique. Because GW did also sculpt that hair really aggressively for me. Just trying to use the tip to get a little bit of a sketchy connection here. And I'll use a smaller brush later to link them together. But for now, we're just laying the base down. Renegade and the artwork for this weapon have great tint. Oh yeah, like I said, everything they did is like it's like all bronze weaponry that's completely patinaed and oxidized and whatnot. So we're gonna just take inspiration from that and just go and just paint it like it's not even metal. We're gonna paint everything like in that jade spectrum. This guy's wild, though. I didn't even know this model existed until High Ground Gaming sent it to me. Let me switch down to a smaller brush. And just kind of drawing those tendrils of fur. Into his, like, as they move into his skin a little bit more. Probably what I would do is just squirt the mahogany back down and take a little mahogany into the red Use a little water. And kind of filter a little mahogany into these tendrils as they move deeper into this actual brown spectrum, and let the mahogany do its work.
It's not the east or the west side. No, it's not. It's the dark side. You are correct. We got Death Star. 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 We got Death Star.
Yo, Jax the Pirate.
Looking so good.
Let me get some strong man loving chat from my man Jax the Pirate. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I remember a while back you and your brother were staying together doing 40K. What's the status of that? You guys still wilding out 40K? I'm gonna grab a little bit more mahogany. And I'm just blurring that fur into his skin. And we know all the colors we use, so this is actually really fucking easy. Text to speech is back. That's right, Renegade. We'll do it right here, too. Crazy Echo, Jax the Pirate. You have two browser windows open. See, without the ankle bracelet, we gotta just work a little bit of mahogany in. Donation triggered an echo. That's wild. I'm gonna squeeze in right here and put some burnt red on these little fur tufts. It's actually really hard to reach these. Recoil, I'm gonna squirt some mahogany back down. Can you talk about putting some brown paint back in the recesses of Kragnos' left leg fur? Yeah. Squirt some brown down in here. Jax the Pirate. Oh yeah, how you doing, man? I was asking if you were playing some 40K with your brother or something. That's pretty good. Now next, let's see if we can hit this main. So we want to be kind of careful. Let's see. I want to bring a ton of product, and I kind of want to just move away from his skin carefully. I'm using the big number 6 still. See, and I put paint already on it, so that way I can kind of just push it into the spot I want, and then move away. You see? Push it in, move away. Using the big fat number 6. All good, trying to get him heading down the dark path of 40K. You guys still staying together? I think, weren't you guys roommates a while back? I remember he used to come into chat sometimes. Monument Hobbies with the raid. We get some love right there for Monument Hobbies. Bringing that raid life. Monument Hobbies, we started a new project today. He just hung out all the time. Oh, he was never your roommate. Vector, thanks for kicking it. Hairdo, Suplex City. McSteezy. With Kenny McSteezy. I like your rhyme scheme, brother. Hairdo, where you been, dog? Just realized I haven't seen you in chat for ages. Exclamation point, dice dump. This is the second to last Friday of July, meaning only one chance outside of today to get you those collectible dice this month. July dice dump. Magnet Baron fulfilled them. Did me a limited collectible order. Square Edge Matte Dice. He normally doesn't deal with such limited quantities, but I wanted a special limited run. He hooked me up. Monument Hobby says, keeping the weekend off kicking. Have a great weekend. Enjoy stream. Shout out to Monument Hobbies. We're using all Monument Hobbies paints, and we actually have a really solid workup on this one, guys. We almost never do this, but we're using like a super methodical set of colors that we're not doing any wacky nonsense that we normally do. So this will be really easy to follow along with. I even posted on Instagram the paints we were using. Hairdo, bruh, work. It's murdering all artisticness. That sucks, man. Slide in right here. Get our thumb down here. I'm gonna change positions. Jet White says, would be tight to make his mane and fur like fire. That is literally what I'm gonna do. These are the so we're gonna keep it warm. We're not gonna go like it's actually on fire, Wyatt. We're gonna make him like a ginger, but it's definitely gonna be fiery. So it's gonna be burnt red, burnt orange, warm yellow. That's the main. So we're doing everything very stock, you know. But I'm not gonna do it like it's actually on fire. Like I'm not gonna make it like a white core, burning yellow. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna use the colors of flame. It's all actually very inspired by the box art, Wyatt. They used a much redder, brownish color for his fur. I mean, for his hair like this. And I just am taking everything they did and just ramping it up. They didn't really separate Kragnos' jacked ass physique and his cum gutters and everything. They didn't separate that from the horse flesh. It's all kind of like the same color, which is nice. But there's a lack of saturation and contrast. So, like I said, I'm doing what they did, just more. They use a lot of like copper patina kind of verdigris and stuff, like a ton on his weapons, like a preposterous amount. And I'm just saying, yeah, that's tight. We're just gonna paint his shit jade and fucking turquoise. We're gonna skip the whole metal part. We're just gonna make it hype. Wyatt says, I only listen to a fraction of what you say. Classic Wyatt. Well, if you listen to more of what I said, Wyatt, you'd be better at painting. We're just raw dogging the shit out of this. Some stipples right here. A lot of heart pulls. Using the big number 6. The monument paint is so easy to just raw dog like this. Somebody asked me today on Facebook, they're like, do you think your monument paint's like in the bottle or like in the pot? Like, what do you do? I was like, I mean, I mostly don't thin them. And when I airbrush them, I thin them in the pot. Definitely don't pre-thin your bottles of monument, which is something I know is popular with other brands of paint. But it's like, you don't want to ruin this paint. It's so good out of the bottle. I almost never thin the paint down when I'm blocking stuff in. You guys watch me just raw dog that shit. It's one of the best paints for raw dogging. Because no matter how much monument paint I put on this main, as long as I keep smoothing it out and moving it all one direction toward a wet edge, it'll never get built up. It'll always be dope. And you'll get one and done coverage this way. And because, remember, the whole reason I started with those browns is because I know that this red is going to play really well off the browns. So if I don't get full coverage, I'm going to be fine. He's got like a little mohawk in there as well, but let's skip to the tail before I fuck around with his face. I am for real.
Lurking and jerking in the shadows. Good stream, Kenny.
That's right, baby. The Huff, lurking and jerking, homie. You don't need to be in the shadows, though. I'm gonna get some strong man love and chat from Amanda Huff. I'm gonna switch to super secret dry brush tech. Almost nothing is better than a big dry brush, big flat or big round dry brush for painting things with this kind of girth. Let me get some heat right there. Huff, I ordered your koozie today. I think you're gonna like it. Look how fast that is when you use this big ass brush. I don't think I've used burnt red before, have we? Oh no, we have. Burnt red is I've used it a billion times. It's burnt orange that's kind of new to my workups. But I'm deliberately not using bold pyro. But I kind of feel like I should now. Fuck. We're adding bold pyro to the workup. Let it be said. Let it be done. We get some hype in there. We got 2 people on the list for dice today. Model Students has got to get some. It's gorgeous paint. Yeah, dude. Do yourself a favor. You know, a lot of people, I talk to my students about this all the time. You know, people say things like, you know, the X doesn't make the X. You know what I mean? Like, whatever tool you're using. The bat doesn't make the baseball player. The glove doesn't, you know what I mean? The gun doesn't make the shooter. Whatever you want to call it, right? Like, the tool doesn't make the, or the product doesn't make the thing. And I used to have coaches and all sorts of different things I did growing up. And I was like, then why do we always use, like, this specific kind? Because I kind of feel like it's, you know, important. I'm like, almost as if 2 hobos off the street with no training. One uses the dope thing, one uses the not dope thing. The guy with the dope thing just wins. Well, you know, yeah, that's the facts. So you get free power-ups, free level-ups by using a certain, like, by using the best products. This paint makes you better at painting. The airbrush I told you to buy makes you better at airbrushing. And these paintbrushes make you better at applying paint, period. Now, if you're a master practitioner of miniature painting, you can use anything. It doesn't really matter, but who fucking cares? So it's dumb to quote the exception, you know, which is masters don't need that stuff. You're quoting the exception as the norm when 99% of people are novices, not masters. All right, I'm going to rinse this brush. Let me grab my little number 1. Okay, and I want to move in and get his little... He's got a little mohawk action right here. We're using the heart pull. It's good. Model paint student says, I'm a painter by trade. Consistency is the key. You need to predict the finish you're going to get in the end. What kind of painter are you, man? It's like the new gold from Reaper. Great gold, but not for a new painter. Oh, yeah. Good point. Let's see if we can get his face love minis. That's right. A lot of people love that gold. But there's a lot of stuff going on there. I don't think I'm going to use any airbrushing on his beard. But it looks weird not to have it painted right now, so I'm going to take the extra second. And I'm using a number 1. He's got a sick ass beard. Back here. Let's get up under his... He's got like a... Is he like also a goat man? He's got some big ass like ram horns too, and I'm just kind of looking at him. Is he like a ram? Spray high-end finish to wood cabinets. Model student. My dad did his own cabinets. They look like shit. Missed what model this was. Model student exclamation point Kragnos. It's an AOS mini. Let's also do his chest hair right here, or stomach hair. The same thing, we're going to have to blur that into his skin. And we know how to do that because we know exactly what paints we used. Using the number 1 right now. Using the heart pull when we're moving away from his skin, trying to create like kind of a skinny connection line. Still raw dog in this paint. It's got a little bit of action right here. Using the heart pull. And we'll go back and blur that into his skin a little bit. Source of the big brush again, the number 6. Now that we're safely not touching his skin, we can move around a little more confidently. So we're probably going to do a black blue for his hooves to bring some coolness into the workup, and his little like random miscellaneous horns that are erupting from his totally not a fucking goat man devil body. Right. Let's move into, let's grab one of our flesh colors. Thinking probably shadow flesh, maybe tan flesh. And we're going to use those in conjunction with the red to blur them into his belly. Okay, so let's take some red, some shadow flesh, some water, maybe more red. So right where they're erupting from his skin, I'm using this mix. Let's take a little water, maybe a little tan flesh in the mix. It's good. Good enough. How much time we have left? 27 minutes, baby. We can get back on the airbrush now. Move this wet palette out of the way. Exclamation point dice dump. Shout out to Huff. Jax the Pirate. The model student says, would a Minotaur have a front and back? Front and back D? Model student. Dong? I don't know what Minotaurs have, man. You're a Hero Quest guy. You probably know all about Minotaurs. Wait, that was Hero Quest guy. You don't know shit about that. So that color looking good. Let's get the airbrush back. Rico says Kenny is not a Minotaur dong scientist. I won't go that far. I dabble. All right, 27 minutes left. We'll be back on the airbrush. It just get some of green suds out of the pot.
It's not the east or the west side. No, it's not. It's a dark side. You are correct. We got Death Star. 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 We got Death Star.
Let me get some strong man love in the chat from a man chaotic painting. What's up, brother? Chaotic painting. Thank you so much for your support on this dice dump. How you doing, man? Pull this glove off. It's ruined. You get ready to do this thing, homie? Ready, chaotic painting? So what we're doing one thing I didn't put in my workup. We're gonna add bold power red. We're gonna use this first, then we'll use the orange. God, that means I need to make 2 changes. Fuck. We gotta make 2 changes. Lower the opacity. So what we want to do is just spritz some of this into the hair. We don't want to get anywhere near his skin. I lowered the opacity substantially, so it blends in with the burnt red really easy. Chaotic painting, you keeping an eye on this, keep an eye on things for me. So we added lots of water and flow improver. I don't want it to be aggressively bold power red, but I want it to ramp up some of that red, right? Sheet the angle, lock in where you can. Not trying to get it on his skin. Don't even get close. So we're basically bringing a lot more saturation to the burnt red now by adding this bold power red, but just kind of toward the tips, you see? It's only slightly brighter. It's only like a nut hair brighter. But it is absolutely more saturated. See if I can put some on his little socks. Not gonna do anything obviously on his face or skin. I'll do that by hand. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add more. I need to kind of add more opacity to what's in my pot right now because it's or I'm gonna keep having to build it up on those little socks. So we're gonna thicken up the mix essentially.
From we enter inside, I come through and lift up the vibe. That's just what we bring, we get like. Gonna get this party started alright all night. Got the rhythm on deck. I don't need to tell you what's next. Just jump to the rhythm and show me two steps.
So basically, it's a little bit more opaque and a little thicker.
Head to toe when that drip, I'm wavy. Couple man I ain't seen from time. Couple gal I might move to wine. Like Amos, if it's no crime, would you let this one dance be mine? But the nigga
I want more immediate impact on these socks. Dirty Dark, what up, player? What are you into, man? I don't think I've seen you around for a while, bro.
From we enter inside, I come through and lift up the vibe.
You here for the AOS paint job or the dice? Exclamation point dice dump. Only one more chance to win after tonight. Family game night disco. Much love, brother. Hit him with the disco chop. You see, by basing the hair by hand, we're able to do this. See? Again, we're not trying to actually do fire. We're just trying to make him a bit of a ginger. Okay? Now the thing is, it is hair, so my need to respect the hair is low. So we're not gonna really do a big respect work up here. We're gonna mostly clean the pot out. Normally we do a nice little clean transition. We're not. And if I was doing fire, I would have done white. I would have gotten the yellow installed first. Dirty Dark says, "Glad you remember me." Like, did you answer my question earlier? Oh, it said just chilling. You've been just chilling. Doing 40K or what, man? Have you not been hobbying this summer? I remember you, dog. I remember everyone. Anyone who comes to my channel, I remember you. Where's the lid? All right, so normally I wouldn't just start raw dogging orange right over, but I am. And so I had intended to use burnt orange, but burnt orange isn't going to work now because burnt orange is desaturated again. And we need hype orange now. So we're going to raw dog straight up orange. Okay. And we're raw dogging it for real. Like, not only is it not mixed or respecting it, I'm not going to thin it. Because I need this orange to show up. But I'm also not married to like a flame. So we're not doing like a flame effect. We're doing a ginger, right? Say. But definitely notes of flame, just thematic. Like he's fiery, right? But this will never lead to a really strong fire effect because it'll never be truly saturated. And we're doing it backwards, honestly. If it's hair or fire, it would have to be orange and yellow where it touches the skin. But he's not. He's just a ginger. And it's okay if this orange doesn't max out saturation. Dirty Ducks. So yeah, still in the hobby, a lot of video games. What video game you playing, brother? Coming in from the top. It's all about cheaty angles, guys. See these angles we're using? Now we gotta be careful here. See, we're just going a little extra. Where GW said, you know, it's orangey brown. We're like, my man, it's full on ginger mode. Exclamation point class. If you want to take my classes, you know what to do. Sign up on Patreon. If you want to get this OP at painting. See, I've been streaming for 3 hours almost. Right? So we've got about 2.5 hours realistically of actual paint time on this, while talking about what we're doing while we're doing it, right? So look at that. We've been painting for less than 3 hours, and look at where Kragnos is right now. These techniques, these procedures, they get us a result that is preposterously ahead of schedule. So we always want to take our time on this step on a model like this, so that we can generate that superior product and save time in the long run. A lot of people, they get a little impatient when they're airbrushing and they try to one and done it. But you see how I spent a solid hour just working it back and forth? And now because of that, I don't have to do much. And again, I'm gonna do all the hair on his face and stomach. That'll be by hand. We're using the airbrush to save time on this stuff. But we'll end up messing it up if we go for the stomach. Dirty Dark, Warmer 40K, Gladius. Hell yeah, dude. Dirty Dark. Thank you, man. You're now, there's only about 10 minutes left, guys, to get these dice. They're still opening on the final 4 to get these collectible dice for this summer. You guys know I typically do hype-ass promos in the summer to make money because money's slow. It's been slower than ever before, thanks to the economy and whatnot. But you want to get these collectibles, you know what's up. Now let's see if we can do one last airbrush squirt. Recoil's mom, you collect draft horses? My mom is obsessed with horses. Was mom. She went to like the Budweiser facility to see the Clydesdales multiple times.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
I got all the dice for the last 3 years. Can't miss a year. That would be literally not the best.
Meticulous Chaos, you beast. Thank you so much. That's literally not the best. That's right, brother. Meticulous Chaos, true pimp. Now check it out. We're going to take warm yellow Meticulous. Warm yellow. Let me see if I can blast it a little bit. And so this is not a super hype yellow, Meticulous Chaos. Just a nice, pretty, warm yellow, okay? Again, we're not trying to make this shit look like fire. We're trying to just make him a ginger. And so we're going to add the warm yellow to the tips. See that? And we'll probably use the warm yellow and do a little bit of dry brushing with it. Look how much cheating we're doing, Meticulous Chaos. Straight cheat codes. But do you see how the warm yellow is actually resaturating the orange? Because the orange got a little desaturated over the red. El Road Dog in the house.
30 seconds in, hit him with an F5. Hit it back so hard he feel it in the next life. Pull him over that shoulder just like a knapsack.
Suplex City, baby. Let me get that's one of my favorite gifts of all time. That's when that Link Legend of Zelda game, Skyward Sword or whatever, was really popular. It was the #1 game. And then someone made that GIF, and I was like, it's the greatest GIF I've ever fucking seen. And the Suplex City soundbite is from Brock Lesnar. So. Let me get some love in the chat for Arrow Dog. Model student. It's perfect, right? The colors. Dirty Dark, you liking it? So really the warm yellow is really just kind of is ramping up the saturation. We don't want to really go any brighter. We're not trying, like I said, we're not trying to make him fire. He's not made of fire. We're just bringing some beautiful tones to the model. Now, with just 5 minutes left, we're gonna set him down because all that, like, we're gonna have to do some stuff when we stream on Monday, because we stream on Mondays now, Dirty Dark. And so I'm gonna see if I can get a quick varnish laid out. So I need to clear the pot. And I'm going to see if I can put a varnish in.
When we are apart, I will remember the summer.
Gotta get that yellow out.
Remember when everything was bright and new. That
Or loving, you loving how it makes it pop?
through the little park,
Yeah, man.
the moon,
So pretty. We only made one audible.
the tree.
And that was adding the Bull Power Red and then having to swap the burnt orange to stock orange.
In full bloom,
Because I realized I realized it wasn't going to be as hype.
and when we are apart, I will be wishing on starlight, wishing that I could view the stars too. Who knows if tomorrow
Looking good. All right. That's clean.
the chance
We're going to use Army Painter.
to start till that moment you'll
I'm going to use Army Painter Satin.
my heart.
Airbrush ready. Now let me just pour that back in. I don't know if I shook it good enough, so... How much time we got left? 2 minutes left in the dice giveaway, guys. So I would just want to protect them. So I'm just going to do a light varnish here. All from one angle right here. Change angle. Change angle. Red coat, my guy.
Milk was a bad choice.
I will be wishing
Change
For
angle.
the tip jar brother. Evil Ginger Horseman is looking good.
Red coat, thank you, dude. Change angle. And what you're looking for, it's a little cloggy, that's fine. I'm raw dogging this airbrush ready varnish. And what I'm looking for is he looks wet, not milky. If he looks milky, spread that milk out until it's clear.
if tomorrow may bring us
And normally I would recommend doing this 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times,
new stars
to protect the model from your future ham fisting.
till that moment.
But this is good enough for my purposes. So oftentimes I will lock in all the hard work we just did with the airbrush. I locked it in just now, right? I put a save point. I put a barrier of acrylic medium between that dope airbrushing and everything else we're going to do, Redcoat. So that's good practice right there. There he is. Look at him. That's day one. That's 3 hours, 2.5 hours into painting. Red coat. Using our system. Mr. the Monk. Why the satin? Satin's my favorite. No reason. It makes the colors pop more, so that's why. It's only a light coat of a light satin.
In here. It's time to get swifty. We gotta get swifty. Oh yeah.
40 seconds
Take
overtime.
off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
Shout out to Redcoat. 40 seconds overtime, I think. 38. It's a very light satin, Mr. the Monk, too. It's not like AK Interactive satin is like very much more satin. The Army Painter satin is very chill satin. So it just makes it makes the colors pop a little bit more, and it protects the model. That's it. If you're gonna do any dry brushing, it's probably better to go matte, which I am gonna do some dry brushing. So there's something to be said for I chose the wrong varnish. Because if it's too slippery, that's not great for dry brushing. So there it is. Let me write some names down. Today is the 19th. This is a dice dump. Shout out to my man Redcoat. Meticulous. Jax. Chaotic. You all win special summer dice. Looking good. I'm super happy with this project so far. What a sick. What a fucking sick model. We haven't painted an AOS model in fucking 7 years. The Monk, it'll be fine. I actually like the surface to repel moisture a little bit from how light my hand is. I like that. But your thinking is correct. Thank you, Recoil's Mom. Thank you, Chaotic Painting. Thank you, Love Minis. We're going to hit up Wicked Mini Paints now, so give me 1 second to set this raid in motion. super pleased with Kragnos. This is going to be a fun fucking project. And he's going to be shockingly so much easier to paint than like the Lord of Change. This isn't going to be no 36-hour paint job, guys. Like, you can already see how much faster it is and how much less nonsense we have to do. And we're not going to be doing a NMM. We're going to be doing that. You'll see. We're going to do this super abstract verdigris. We're going to cheat the colors so hard. All right, the rate is ticking down. Let's bring length and girth and positivity to Wicked Minis. He's over there working on Mortarion because he's a fucking beast. I'll see you guys on Monday. Shout out to all my supporters and mods. I'll see you guys in class soon. As always, until we meet again,
Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't
play
know
on, players.
Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast.
Can I run up the score, run up the board, breaking them all? Ay, walking the door, you know what happened, we step on the floor. Ay, coming from on, you don't want problems, you already know it. Ay, put my mind to it, you already know I'm finna go do it. Ay, yeah, I'm locked in, and I feel like Mark 10. Ay, walking to a room, chest up with my chin. Ay, already finished for this joint, it will begin. Ay, when is what I am, I cannot ever pretend. Ay, yeah, never pretend. Ay, back in the lab again. Ay, you when I touching the friends, ay, you when I touching the kin, ay, putting the points on the board, I'm killing the boys, you know what it is, ay, switching the moves, no number two, I came in